So we're going to start seated today, and you can sit on your pillow or on your foam roller, or if it's really uncomfortable being down on the floor, you can sit on a chair. So I'm going to probably sit on this pillow. It's going to be more comfortable than my roller. And you can sit with your legs crossed, or you can put that roller or that pillow or roller underneath your knees like this. So whatever's more comfortable for you. That actually feels pretty good. So I'm going to sit like that. And I want you to just take your hands on your lap and close your eyes for a moment and just try to lengthen up through the spine. Try to feel really long through your center. And as you inhale, you're going to let your back ribs spread out. You're going to let them open up. And as you exhale, just see if you can feel that gentle narrowing around your center, like you're knitting your abdominals together. As your spine continues to lengthen up. Just start to get a sense of your breath. What does your breath feel like right now? Does it feel expansive? Does it feel shallow? And once you notice the quality of your breath, try to notice where you feel that breath in your body. Are you feeling it up here in your shoulders? Are you feeling it in your lower ribs? Do you feel it in your belly? We're not making any judgments about it right now. We're just noticing it. Trying to allow the spine to keep lengthening as you inhale. Feeling a little bit more expansive, and exhale, feeling that center, kind of like you're giving yourself a little internal hug around your spine. And let's do that 2 more times. Just a nice deep breath in. See if you can feel the breath pulling down a little lower, maybe into your belly, maybe all the way into your pelvis. And as you exhale, it's almost like a lifting up, like you're drawing the energy up from the floor, up from the earth, to help you lengthen that spine. And one more time, inhale. Pulling the breath down, 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 and then exhale. Pulling energy up, feeling that hug around the spine, that length in your spine. And now we're just going to start to roll the shoulders a little bit, just check in with the neck and shoulders. See if there's any tension in there that we can just become aware of right now. And you can keep the breath going. I like to inhale as I roll the shoulders up and exhale as I roll the shoulders back and down. Let's do one more like that. And then keep the hands on your lap, but we're going to take your right hand over to your left leg. Take your left arm and reach it behind you and just take a little twist, lengthening up through the spine. And then coming back to center and switch hands over to the knee, lifting through the spine as you twist. Keep spiraling that spine up, up, up. Breathe in and then breathe out and come back to center. And that's another good place to check with your spine. How does it feel when it's rotating? And let's do it one more time. Cross the hand, keep the other hand behind you, lift and twist. Notice what parts of your spine like to twist and what parts feel a little stuck. And then come back to center. Crossing the other hand across the body, lifting the spine. Inhale and exhale and return back to center. Very good. Give those shoulders one more little circle here. Let's take a little side bend now. So just take your hand to the floor and just try to reach the other arm over your head, opening up those side ribs. Inhale and then exhale, come back up. And take the other arm up, leaning towards the side. It doesn't matter if you're sitting crisscross or on your knees, whatever feels more comfortable. Breathing into those side ribs, and exhale, come back up. And one more time this way. Lifting through your spine first, feeling that energy pulling you up and then over. So you feel supported around the spine still. Lengthen back up. Oh, I got a nice pop out of my shoulder. Take this arm up, reach the spine up with the arm, and then side bend over. Breathing into those outer ribs, opening them up, then lengthen back up. Very good. Take the hands on the knees again and just round forward, chin to chest. Breathe into your back ribs. And then roll up through the spine and try to lift your chest. Try to open your collarbone. You can lift your chin up, but think of your sternum bone lifting towards the sky. And then again, slide the fingers forward and round the chin to the chest, pulling the abdominals back into the spine. It's like a little gentle seated cat-cow. Opening the chest now, lift your spine up towards the ceiling. Collarbone is nice and spread out. And let's do that one more time. Slide the hands forward, draw the chin to the chest. You can exhale first and then take a breath into those back ribs. Rolling up through the spine, and one more time, lifting the chest, opening that collarbone. This time, take the hands around behind you. See if you can meet the fingertips. Maybe weave the fingers together if you can, and lift the chest. If you can't reach the fingertips together, just reach the arms behind you. Opening the heart up to the ceiling. And then release back to neutral. And let's roll those shoulders one more time. Give yourself a little wiggle. And we're going to come off of our pillows or our rollers. And I want you to just tuck your toes for a second. We're going to bring our feet in the opposite direction. So see how that feels to your feet. You don't have to lean back into your heels if you need to take some weight off. And also, if you don't like being on your knees, I would put the pillow under your knees or the roller under your shins so that you get a little stretch without having to put pressure on your knees. So you can do it this way. But you're just going to lean back as far as that feels like a good stretch. And then we're going to take our feet and flatten the back on the ground, but I'm going to have you take one foot over the other foot, like this. And you're putting the bone of one foot on top of the arch of the other foot. And then try to sit down and give your foot a little massage with that bone. You can do a little wiggle from side to side if that feels good. And then you're going to come back up, tuck your toes under, and sit back on your heels again. As much as you can sit back. If it doesn't feel good to sit back, just keep them stretching like this. And then you're going to do the same thing again. You're going to bring your feet flat, put the other bone on top of the arch, and try to sit back and give it a little wiggle. This is a good way to massage the arches of your feet if you don't have a tennis ball. And if this is really painful for you, if it's impossible to sit back like this, you can be doing this with your tennis ball instead. You could be massaging your foot with your tennis ball. And let's do it one more time. Tuck the toes under and stretch those feet. With the arches of the feet a nice stretch and your toes a nice stretch. And then crossing one bone on top of the arch of the other foot, sitting back as much as you can, maybe wiggling from side to side. Starting to wake up our feet. And let's do the other foot. Last time, stretching first. Arches of the feet get a nice stretch. And then we're going to switch, flattening the feet. Bone on top of the arch, try to sit back. And the more you do this, the more you repeat this exercise over and over again, the deeper you're going to get into that foot. So you're going to start to feel it a little more. It's going to get a little more painful maybe. But that's just getting deeper through those layers of fascia and into the muscle. And then just tuck your toes one more time. And we're going to come back up onto all fours. And take your feet apart a little bit. And just try to draw a little circle around yourself. So your whole spine is moving in one piece, but you're drawing a circle around your hips and your shoulder sockets. Just do that a couple more times. And again, if being on the knees is uncomfortable, you could do this laying on your back and just hugging your knees into your chest and kind of drawing circles with your knees. And I reversed the circles. I forgot to tell you to do that, but you probably saw me do that. Good. And then come back to center and just do a little side bend. Try to look over at your back foot. And come back to center and do a side bend the other way, looking towards your back foot. And again, we're noticing how our spine is feeling up and down the spine and all the parts. One more time to the other side. And let's come back. Let's go ahead and lay on our roller now so we can kind of get a good awareness of how our spine is feeling on the floor or on the roller. So we're going to put our bottom at one end, and we're going to lay down and put our head at the other end. This is where I always have to adjust my hairdo. Put it up a little higher. There we go. So once you get yourself down on the roller, take your hands wide apart, take your feet wide apart, and we're going to do a little side-to-side rock so we can feel how the muscles up and down the spine are feeling. So gently let your hips start to roll to the right and let your head roll to the left. And just see how far that feels good. You don't have to go super far. And then coming through center, inhale. And then roll the other way. Hips go one way, head goes the other way. And it's really up to you and your body how much range of motion feels good. You can shift your weight a lot, or you can just shift it a little. You might feel that stretch going up and down the lower back. You might feel a massage in your rib cage area and your sacrum. Getting a stretch through the neck. Let's go back and forth 2 more times. Start to allow the contents of your body, your belly, your guts down here, just to relax and just to kind of slide through the body back and forth. We're not trying to grip and tighten, we're just trying to melt from side to side. Good. Let's do that 2 more times. I think I might have somebody else trying to get into our class. So just keep rolling from side to side. We're good. Okay. And then bring your body back to center. And we're going to do kind of a little inchworm down towards the end of the roller so that our head is going to be supported just by the edge of the roller. And when I say your head, sort of the base of your skull right here. So you're getting some pressure on that top of the neck, base of the skull. And keep your arms relaxed, keep your feet nice and wide. And just start to very slowly roll your head to the right. Seeing how far it feels good to go. You're not trying to push it. And then slowly roll the head to the left. And see how that pressure feels on the base of your skull, at the top of your neck. You can make adjustments if it feels really uncomfortable. You can bring your head back onto the roller a little bit more, or you can take your head off a little farther and see how that feels. Let's go side to side 2 more times, back and forth, to the right and to the left. Sometimes it makes me close my eyes, this exercise. Just pushes on all the right buttons to close my eyes. Last time, going back and forth, letting your head feel heavier and heavier. And just noticing what kind of range of motion your neck has today. Good, and then we're going to inchworm back onto the roller carefully. You can hold your head if you need to, so that your head is now supported by the roller again. Now let's just release our shoulders a little bit. So we're going to roll the shoulders up and back and down. And do that 2 more times, inhaling as you roll them up. Exhaling and kind of squeezing the roller with your shoulder blades. Inhale up, back, squeezing the roller. And one more time, up, back and down. And as you slide the shoulder blades down, reach for the fingers and try to lift the arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to rotate the palms inward and now start to lift the shoulder blades away from the roller. Take a nice deep breath in. You can wiggle your fingers if you want to. And then exhale, draw the shoulder blades down around the roller. Really relaxing the arms. Again, inhale, reach. Exhale, draw the shoulders down, really relaxing the arms into their sockets. And one more time, reach. Inhale, and exhale, draw the shoulders down. And then keep the shoulders down, rotate those palms to face your knees. Take another inhale for nothing. And as you exhale, slowly take those arms back towards the floor. Try not to lift the ribs. See if you can keep the rib cage heavy. Just feeling that stretch here in the back of the arm, in the back of the shoulder blade. And when you can't go any farther, inhale those arms back up. Try to relax the shoulders again. And then take the arms back as you exhale, drawing those front ribs down into the roller. And then inhale, bring them back up. Make sure the shoulders are kind of relaxed when you get there. And take the arms over the head one last time. Ribs are drawing down, down, down. When you can't go any farther here, let the ribs lift up. Let the spine change. Let it arch a little bit. So that maybe your fingertips can reach down towards the floor a little more. And take another breath in, and as you exhale, we're going to bend those elbows out to your goalpost shape. We're going to find that stretch across the chest. If that feels too intense, pull the arms closer to the roller. Or you can even take your fingertips onto your shoulders. But just find the stretch that works for you. And stay there for 3 deep breaths. In. And as you exhale out, try to empty the lungs. See if your ribs can soften down again. And 2 more breaths. Noticing where you feel the movement of your breath now. Can the elbows and the back of the hands get any heavier? Let's take one more inhale. And as you're exhaling, open your mouth wide like you're making a big ocean sound with your breath. And we're going to pull the arms down. We're going to go. And slowly bring those arms down. And just rotate the palms down onto the mat again. And I'm going to have you move your lower back a little bit here. So we're going to try to tilt our tailbone towards the ceiling and try to feel your lower back pressing into the roller for a moment. And as you're pressing your spine down, can you pull this whole front of your abdominal wall down with it? So you're trying to scoop out your tummy. Make a nice hammock shape with your spine. And then roll back to neutral. And inhale. See if you can do that movement without the shoulders getting involved. Can you keep the shoulders relaxed and just pull the belly button and the spine down towards the roller, feeling like you're taking all the air out from underneath you. And then roll back to neutral as you inhale. And let's do that 2 more times. Exhale. Draw the belly, the spine down, down, down. And we're not trying to lift our tails off the roller. We're just keeping our spine pulling downward. And rolling back to neutral. So if this doesn't feel good to you, if that stretch in your lower back doesn't feel good, I wouldn't do that. I would just stay here and try to kind of focus on tightening the corset around you rather than trying to pull down with the abdominals. And let's do 1 more. Inhale, keeping the shoulders relaxed. Exhale, pulling the lower back and the spine and belly down into that roller. You really feel the roller with your bones in your lower back. And then roll back to neutral. Good. And then let's melt off the roller to one side. So just pick a side that feels comfortable to melt down onto the floor and push the roller out from under you and just lay on your back when you get there. And we're going to find our tennis ball. Hopefully I can find mine. I had it at the beginning of class. Oh, here it is. And if you have a softer ball, that works too. We're going to go back to our necks for a moment. We're going to place the ball kind of back where that base of your skull is, right where it meets your neck. And put the ball just on one side, so it's not on your spine, it's on the left side or the right side. And you kind of have to hold it there with your hands. You can put both hands there, but you're just going to start to roll your head from side to side like you're saying no. And some of you I've done this with before, and we've used 2 tennis balls, one on each side of the neck, which you can do also, but this works just by itself too. So just massaging, right now I'm massaging my left side, right at the base of the skull. You can keep adjusting the ball to new tight spots if you feel like it needs to move around a little bit. We're just trying to remove the tension from that top area of the neck. I don't know if you can see it. I'm kind of right here. But there's no bad spot. As long as you're not on the spine, that probably wouldn't feel too good, but being just off to one side feels really like good pain, to me anyway. You can also nod your head up and down a little bit, tiny little yeses with your head and neck. And then try drawing a little circle. And if this is way too intense with the ball under your head, you can do this with your head supported on the roller like we did last week. So you can be doing the same, nodding up and down or circling. And it's a little gentler with the roller instead of the tennis ball. So now that we've done one side, let's go ahead and switch over to the other side. And start with the nose, just rolling your head from side to side, supporting your neck with your other hand if you need to. Supporting the ball so it doesn't roll around too much. You can keep adjusting the ball to new spots if you find new spots as you're rolling. Let's try nodding the head up and down a little bit. And again, you could be taking that ball out farther to the side if it's tight out there, or you can bring it closer to the spine, wherever you find that you need to release. You can go back to the nose, or you can draw a little circle. We've probably all been staring at our phones a lot, looking at the news. So our necks are inevitably going to be a little tighter. Looking down at our phones or our tablets or whatever we're reading the news on. That's a good spot. All right, so let's go ahead and take that tennis ball out and just let your head rest on the floor. Bring your arms down by your sides. And do a little rock and roll gently from side to side. Notice how the neck feels now that you've released it there a little bit. We're going to do the same thing, but down at the top of your shoulder. So instead of on your neck, we're going to draw our shoulder. You can roll to one side and kind of tuck the ball underneath your shoulder, right where you would want to massage your shoulder if you had tension from lifting your shoulders up too much, or you know, those upper trap muscles. I'll show you in the seated position. So it's kind of just below my shoulder top. It's down here. And it's not on the shoulder blade. It's between my spine and the shoulder blade. Now we're going to take that arm up towards the ceiling, and we're just going to do a little seaweed motion, just moving the arm around wherever it feels good. Any direction you feel like. Bend the elbow, straighten the elbow. Oops. And if you need your head supported by a pillow, just to take some of the pressure off if that tennis ball is too much, feel free to slide a pillow under your head. That's going to take a little bit of the weight out of the shoulder. And then let's start to take the arm over the head again. So we're reaching back towards the floor and then coming back up. And I happen to have my roller behind me, which is actually kind of nice. If your arm doesn't like to stretch too far towards the floor, you can rest your arm on the roller. I know she has to say hi. And then one more time, bringing the arm over the head. And then we're just going to keep it over the head. We're going to try to reach it a little bit longer and then draw it down. So your shoulder blade is lifting up and your shoulder blade is drawing down. And let's do that 3 more times. Up and down. Up and down. One more time. Up and down. And then we're going to bring the arm back up and across the body. Try to hold on to your other shoulder and just draw a few circles with that shoulder that has the ball under it. And then reverse those circles. Good. And let's go ahead and roll to the side. Take the ball out from that side and just let both arms again rest on the floor. Just noticing how that shoulder feels compared to the other side. And then we'll take the ball under that other shoulder. Just roll to one side, tuck it under you. It's kind of near the top rather than down too far. And we're just going to lift that arm up. And again, notice if you feel like you need a pillow under your head or any support for the head, but you're just going to do a little seaweed motion in the ocean. Draw figure 8s. Go whichever way feels good. You're just kind of experimenting with your body here. What feels nice, what feels bad. Try to stay connected with your breath. Stay in your body. Try not to let your mind wander off. Now let's take that arm now and reach it over the head. Stretching back. And again, if it feels like it's too far without some support, you can put a roller there or a pillow. Or you can just stop yourself and say, okay, that's as far as it needs to go. And then bring the arm back up. As your arm goes over the head, try to notice what your shoulder blade does. You feel it kind of sliding downward rather than upward. You're going to get stuck if you do that. So you want to feel the shoulder blade dropping down your back as your arm goes over your head. And then bring the arm back up. And let's take it back one more time. Bless you. And bring it back up. And then take that hand across your body to your shoulder. We're going to draw some circles. Oh, I forgot the reaches, sorry. Take the arm back over your head. We're going to lift the shoulder blade up and draw the shoulder blade down. I'm going to inhale as you lift and shrug the shoulder. And then exhale, draw the shoulder blade down. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, shoulder blade draws down. And one more, reach. And draw that shoulder blade down. Now you can take that hand across the body and start to draw some circles again. You can always move that tennis ball if it feels like it's on the bone and it needs to be moved. And then you can reverse the circles. And then reach across yourself, try to grab the tennis ball out and let both arms melt down by your sides. And again, just notice how shoulder blades are feeling. You can roll your head from side to side, see how the neck is doing. And just sit with that relaxation for a second. Notice how it feels in your body to have released some tension up here in the neck and shoulders. And maybe we haven't released all of it, but just think about the parts that you have released and breathe into them. And acknowledge that it feels good and it feels right to have a little bit of to have less tension, to have a good feeling in the body. It's always good to remember that even when you're feeling pain in your body, that at least 75 to 95% of your body is doing really great. It's doing what it's supposed to be doing and feeling good. It's hard to feel those good parts when you feel something that feels bad. So focusing on what feels good in your body can sometimes help the bad parts feel a little less horrible. Or you can feel a little less panic about whatever is feeling bad in the body. So let's take the tennis ball now. Where did it go? There it is. And we're going to place it behind one of your hips. So we're going to try to put it underneath your meaty part of your bottom. And it could be near the top, or it can be in the middle, or it can be down near the bottom. But just find a meaty spot and start to let the knee rotate slowly open. And then bring the knee back up. And if that is a good spot, keep the ball there. If you feel like it's not in a good spot, or if it's on the bone when you're opening the knee up, then you can move the ball. And you can also adjust as we're doing this. We're going to do this a few more times. Sometimes you'll be on a spot that doesn't feel like much of anything, and you might want to find a more tender spot to release so you can explore. And once you find that perfect little spot, we're going to keep the knee open. And we're going to decide if that knee needs any support. So if it does, grab your roller or grab a pillow and place it underneath your knee. That'll help your inner thigh relax. It'll help the rest of your body relax. If you don't need that support, if it already feels like you can eventually release that muscle without the support, stay there. And you can also try adding more weight. So if it's a spot that doesn't feel very tender and you want to add a little more, just tip both knees in that direction. That's going to give you a little more weight. But again, you get to decide how much pressure feels good. And I'm going to try a new spot because that spot doesn't feel quite as tender as other spots do. And then once you get into your position, really relax the arms down by your side. See if you can relax your shoulders open. Find your breath again. And start to allow the body to release or relax over that tennis ball. You can always make adjustments if that spot is already relaxing and you need a new spot. Feel free to explore again. Or if it's really not releasing and you want it to be in a different spot, feel free to move it. We're just going to stay on this side for about 3 more breaths. So if you want to move the ball to a new spot, now is a good time. And just start to breathe in and out, noticing where the breath is moving in your body, noticing if your neck and shoulders are staying relaxed. And then as you exhale on your next breath, use your abdominals to kind of help pull you back to your center, bringing that knee back up slowly and gently. And once you take the ball out from underneath your hips, let's straighten the legs for a moment so you can feel the difference between that side and the other side. And just notice how nice and pancakey it feels, hopefully. Now let's switch sides. Bend the knees again. Place that ball under the other hip. And again, just start to let the knee rotate and then come back. We're kind of easing into it by testing the waters. Where does that ball need to go? How much pressure do I want there? What angle do I want my knee to be open? And then once you figure all that stuff out, you can stay open with the knee, you can prop up the knee, you can tip both knees if that feels necessary. But make sure that you're at least comfortable enough. You do want to feel some pressure, but you don't want to feel so much pressure that you're in agony and you're tensing up the rest of your body. So you want to make sure you can relax enough to breathe and enough to let go. And then make sure you're staying connected to your body, stay connected to that breath. Maybe putting your hands on your belly and feeling it rise and fall with the breath. That can help you stay connected to it. If that spot is already starting to relax a little bit, feel free to move the ball. Sometimes it's just little micro adjustments that make a huge difference. You might be near a tight spot, but not quite on a tight spot. And if you do have tight low back, you may want to try the glute muscles that are towards the top of the pelvis, not on the bones of the pelvis, but just below your waistband. Sometimes those guys get tight and then they really pull on all those bones of your lower back. And we'll stay here for about 3 more deep breaths. So again, if you need to make any adjustments, we've got 3 more breaths to try to release a little bit more. Let's see. I got 1 more spot to try. And with your next exhale, you're going to use that exhale to draw the belly in, pull the knees back up to center, and then slide that ball out from underneath your pelvis. And let's straighten the legs both down onto the floor. And just notice how the back of the pelvis feels. Maybe you can feel your sacrum a little bit more on the floor. You don't need to try to flatten your back here, but just be in neutral. Let your spine have all its natural curves. And let your palms rotate to face up towards the ceiling. And with that nice relaxed pelvis, let's just take your knees and slowly pull them into your chest, one at a time. Try not to change your spine, so keep your spine neutral. Don't let your back flatten. So only pull the knees towards you as much as you can be heavy on the back of the pelvis. And then we're going to take our knees and circle them around and pull them together. So the knees open out to the sides and then back together. Just stirring those hips in their hip sockets. Let's do 3 more with the breathing. Staying connected to the breath. 1 more. And then go ahead and reverse those circles, pushing the knees away, open and around. And away and open and around. Kind of feeling all the different angles of that hip socket and noticing if there's any glitchy spots or spots that aren't feeling as smooth as you come around. And then bring both feet back down to the floor. And we're gonna do a little stomp. So hopefully nobody's trying to really concentrate in your house because it's gonna make some noise. So we're gonna float one leg up, just trying to let the bones feel heavy in that hip socket. And then I want you to let the leg drop down to the floor. It's gonna make a little stomp. And float the other leg up and let it drop. So you're relaxing all the muscles of your thigh and just letting the leg fall. And lift, so there's a little effort on the lift, but then you relax and fall. And you really wanna let go. You just don't wanna hold on to that leg. Let it fall. Inhale, march. Exhale, drop. Inhale, march. And drop. Let's do 3 more sets. Left side and right side. And left and right. One more set. And then bring the left leg up and keep it up there. And just start to circle your ankle a little bit here. So your toes are moving in a circle. And let's move the toes in the other direction. And then the toes are going to start to conduct the orchestra in a little figure 8, sort of sideways figure 8 or infinity symbol. And as your toes are moving in this direction and that direction, your leg is starting to follow. So your leg is going across your body and outside. But I'm moving all my joints, my toe joints, my ankle joint, my knee joint is bending and straightening. My hip joint is moving in and out. So I'm trying to get all those parts moving. And once you get all those parts moving, see if you can get the opposite leg or the other leg to move in opposition. So it's going across and then out. And across. Now that might be just too many things. So if that's too many things, then just focus on the leg in the air. The one on the floor doesn't have to move. But if it does move, it's moving in opposition to that leg in the air. Let's just do one more little infinity to this side and that side. And then cross the leg over the bottom leg. And let both knees start to roll over to the side. So I've got my left leg crossed, I'm rotating to the right, and my left arm is going to open up in opposition. So I'm giving my spine a little stretch all the way down from the knee to the fingertips. And just breathe in here. And again, paying attention to our body. What is it feeling? Where are you feeling a stretch? Are you feeling any discomfort? And if you are, prop your knees up a little bit or pull yourself back towards the floor a little bit. There may just be too much pull in this area. We're going to stay here for one more breath. And then we're going to use our bottom knee to push the legs back to center. So use the bottom leg to push yourself back up. And then uncross your legs. And just notice, you can give your hips a little wiggle, just notice what your back feels like. Now we're going to float that right leg up now. We're going to start to draw little circles with the toes. Actually, let's just draw circles. Let's not do our figure 8 yet. And then go the other way, get those toes moving. And our ankle moving. Then we're going to add the legs. So we're going to draw that figure 8 over to the side and then the other side. You're crossing across your midline and moving out. Going to the left and going to the right. And your ankle, your toes are still moving, and then your knee is also bending and straightening. Your hips are rotating back and forth. Good. Seeing if you can coordinate all those joints moving together. And then see if you can add the opposition of the bottom leg. So it's going across and then open. And across each other and open. Across each other and open. Across each other, open. 2 more. And open. 1 more. And open. Now cross that leg over the bottom leg. Let it rest there. And let both knees fall over to that left side. And then you're going to look over towards your right hand, giving yourself a nice stretch. You can always prop up the knees a little higher if it's too much stretch for you. Try to feel that shoulder blade on the stretching side melting down towards the floor. Two more breaths here. And one more breath. With your bottom leg, push the top leg back up to center. And then uncross those legs. Very nice. Let's just take our knees to the left and our arms to the left. So we're going to roll all the way onto our sides. And I'm going to use that roller underneath my head for a moment. A little pillow. You can also use a pillow if you don't want the roller there. Now we're going to take that top arm and slide it across the bottom arm. Slide it across your chest and then open it out behind you. Try to keep your knees stacked. And actually, I'm going to grab my pillow. This is a good place to stick a pillow. Because if you have something between your knees, you can kind of squeeze it. Or if you don't, you can just squeeze your knees together. So we're opening up behind us, and then we're going to take that arm and reach up to the ceiling and all the way across, even longer than that bottom arm. So if your fingers can get longer. And slide across that bottom arm. Rotate backwards, breathing in. And then you're going to reach up towards the ceiling. Try to brush your fingertips on the ceiling and all the way across. So we want to feel our movement coming from our shoulder blade, not from our shoulder socket. So it's not just the arm that's moving, it's the whole body. You're rotating the spine, you're opening that collarbone. Your shoulder blade is moving towards the spine as you open it up. And then your shoulder blade and arm reach up and across and down. And just do 2 more like that. Sliding across the body, opening it up. Inhale. Exhale, reach up. Try to touch the ceiling and reach across. And last one. Slide those fingers along the body. Really feel your body as you open up. And then reach up to the ceiling, brush the ceiling with your fingertips, and come all the way across. Very nice. So we're just gonna come all the way over to the other side. Now you can pick up your knees, roll your knees and your pillow together over to the other side. Top hand is on top of that bottom hand. And you're gonna slide the fingers across the bottom arm, cross your collarbone, and open up the arm, looking back towards your fingers, breathe in, and then try to touch the ceiling, sweep the ceiling, and come across, reaching longer than your bottom arm. And again, sliding the fingers across the body, opening up the arm and the fingertips last, and then reaching up, try to touch the ceiling, and across. Inhale, slide across. Open the chest. Good. Breathe in again and reach up. And across. Keeping a little squeeze on your pillow between the knees so your hips and your knees are stable. Just that upper spine is getting a rotation. And then reaching up. And across. Very good. Let's roll back onto your back. You can keep the support under your head for a moment. And take your pillow and just place it on the floor next to you. Let me just check and see how much I have. Oops. There we go. All right, so we're going to hug our knees back into our chest and just do a little side to side rock. So you can kind of flatten your spine into the floor and feel that massage in your lower back. See how that's feeling. And then we're going to take the roller and place it underneath our hips and do kind of the same thing. So you can switch a pillow under your head if you want to, but we're going to slide the roller underneath the feet. Come back onto my mat. And then you're going to do a little lift of your hips to slide the roller beneath you. And if this feels like it's too high for your body, you can put a pillow under you instead, because you'll still get a nice stretch, hopefully through the front of the thighs here. And we're going to hug the right knee in towards the body. Just pick it up and pull it towards you. And just feel what that does to your left leg. And it may feel like I have to lift this foot off the floor. That's fine. What I want you to do is sink the ribs down and the belly down. Try to feel like your spine is not arching, because it could arch here. But we want to try to reverse the arch. We want to try to sink the tummy in. And then once you feel that stretch going on in the front of the thigh, slide the toes away, and stretch the leg out. And then flex your foot and lift that leg up. All the way towards your head, like you're going to keep yourself in the head. And then you're going to bend that knee and try to reach it back down. You can point the toe to find the floor, or maybe not find the floor, but just as far down as it can go. Slide the leg away, feeling that stretch in the hip here. And reach and then flex your foot and lift the leg up. Pulling it towards you as much as you can, feeling that stretch in the hamstring. Bend the knee. Now you can also do this holding onto your right leg. If you want a little more pull into the body, it's going to give you more stretch here as you slide the toes away. And then flex. So we're kind of doing a reverse bicycle move with the leg in slow motion. Let's do 2 more. Bend. Reach the toe towards the floor. Slide the toe away, reaching long towards the other side of the room. Flex the foot. Lift it up. Feel the stretch in the hamstring. And one more time. Bend. Trying to remember to breathe. Stretching that leg out. Trying not to let it arch your back here. So we're pulling the tummy into the spine. Flex the foot and lift. And this time we're just going to bend the knee and stay there with that left leg. Right leg is going to try to reach down to the floor now. Just try to point the toe, see if you can find the floor, and set it down if you can. And just feel the stretch in the front of the thigh. Now if you can't set it down without arching the back, just lift it off the floor. But keep the tummy pulled in. And slowly, slowly, slowly start to stretch the leg out. Reaching long, flex and lift. Feel that stretch in the hamstring, and then bend the knee. Point the toe, reach the toe towards the floor, keeping the spine the same, don't let it arch. Sliding away. Ooh, side is tighter. Flex the foot and stretch it up. Inhale and bend. And if you want to add a little extra pull on that left leg, you can. Stretch the leg out. Flex. Each of these parts, you can stay there a little longer if you need to. If it feels good to hold this stretch for a second, go for it. If it feels good to hold the stretch down here, go for it. Sliding the toes away. Maybe it feels good to hold this one. Keeping the tummy deep into the spine. Flex and lift. Let's do 2 more bicycle moves. Bending the knee. Stretching down towards the floor and away. Lengthening through the hip. Flex and up. Feel that hamstring get a nice stretch. One more time, bending. Lowering the toe towards the floor. Stretching away. Feel that length of your leg. And flex. And lift. And bend. Good, and just hug your knees towards your chest. It's okay if your spine rounds here, if that feels comfortable to you. Hold on to the edges of the roller now. Pull your knees together and away just a little bit, and just give that lower back a massage. So I'm kind of at the top of my sacrum, right on my waistband. You can move the roller down or up as you like. So you can put it up a little higher if you want to get into your lower back a little bit more. Massage the muscles a little higher. That feels good. You can also do it a little lower if you want to get more into the pelvis. Just doing a little gentle side to side rock. Relaxing the shoulders and the neck. One more, side to side. And then coming back to center, let your knees fall into your body. You can open the knees apart and then take your hands on the roller and slide it slowly out from under you. So you're rolling your spine down into the floor as you push that roller away. Ah, very nice. And just push the roller off to one side. Let's roll onto your side all the way to the side and use your top hand and your top leg to kind of push you up to a seated position. All right. I think that is all we have time for. So I'm going to come and unmute everybody. See how we're all feeling.